Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. If you're waiting for the right time to start or for the perfect conditions, I've got news for you. It's never going to happen. Life doesn't work that way. The truth is, the most successful people don't wait for things to fall into place. They make things happen. They force themselves to take action, even when it's hard, even when they don't feel like it, because they know one simple thing: action leads to results. In this video, we're going to dive into why taking action is the key to success and how you can push yourself to get started, even when you're feeling stuck. We'll talk about how to stop waiting for motivation and start building the habit of acting regardless of how you feel in the moment. You'll learn how to break free from hesitation and move forward, no matter what obstacles are in your way. Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of decision making. You know what separates people who succeed from those who just keep wishing for things to happen? It's not luck. It's not talent. And it's not even resources. It's the power to decide. A single decision can change the direction of your entire life. Let me tell you, nothing happens until you make up your mind. We all have dreams, goals, and ideas. You might have thought about starting that side hustle, getting in shape, or maybe just spending more time with the people you care about. But how many times have you caught yourself saying, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I need to think about it more"? The truth is, every time you delay a decision, you're giving fear and doubt more power over your life. Here's the thing: decision making is the starting point for everything. When you decide, you set the wheels in motion. And I'm not talking about just thinking about it. Thinking is good, but decisions are what lead to action. Imagine a car at a red light. It doesn't move until you hit the gas pedal. Your decision is that gas pedal. Now let's talk about why making decisions can feel so tough sometimes. For most people, it's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of stepping out of their comfort zone. I get it. It's scary to commit to something, especially when you don't know how it will turn out. But here's what I've learned: not deciding is a decision in itself. And it's a decision that leaves you stuck. Think about this every day. Life presents you with opportunities. Some are big, some are small, but they all require one thing from you: action. And action starts with a decision. Let me ask you something. What's the cost of not deciding? What's the price you pay for staying exactly where you are? Let that sink in for a moment. When you avoid making a decision, you're not just delaying progress, you're giving up control over your life. You're letting circumstances dictate your path. That's not how you want to live. You want to be the driver of your own life, not a passenger waiting for something to happen. So how do you make powerful decisions? Start by getting clear on what you want. Clarity is key. If you're not clear about your goals, it's easy to get overwhelmed and stuck. Take a moment to really think about what matters to you. Is it financial freedom? Is it better health? Is it spending more time with your family? Whatever it is, make sure it's something that lights a fire inside you. Once you're clear, commit to it. And I mean fully commit. Half-hearted decisions lead to half-hearted results. You've got to say to yourself, this is what I'm doing, no matter what. It's not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how you're going to do it. It's about taking that first step and trusting yourself to figure out the rest along the way. Now, let's talk about momentum. You don't need to figure out your entire journey today. All you need to do is decide on your next step. Maybe it's sending that email, making that phone call, or setting your alarm 30 minutes earlier. Small decisions lead to big changes. Each time you follow through, you're building confidence. You're proving to yourself that you can take control of your life. And let me tell you, the more you practice making decisions, the better you'll get at it. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the more fearless you become. You'll start to notice that things you used to hesitate over don't feel so intimidating anymore. But I want to address something important here. Some people wait until they feel motivated to decide. They think, I'll act when I feel ready. Let me tell you, waiting for motivation is a trap. Motivation might get you started, but it's discipline and decision-making that keep you going. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. I want to share a quick story with you. A friend of mine once told me he wanted to run a marathon. For years, he talked about it. One day he'd say, One day I'll do it, but that day never came because he never decided to make it happen. Then one day he had enough. He signed up for a marathon on the spot, even though he had never run more than a mile in his life. That single decision changed everything. It gave him focus. It gave him a goal. And guess what? 6 months later, he crossed that finish line. Action follows decision. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers right now. What matters is that you start. So let me ask you, what's one thing you've been putting off? What's one decision you can make today that will move you closer to the life you want? Maybe it's finally enrolling in that course. Maybe it's making healthier choices. Maybe it's spending more time on what truly matters. Whatever it is, decide. Because when you decide, you take control. You give yourself permission to grow, to learn, and to succeed. You're not just wishing for things to happen, you're making them happen. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for all the pieces to line up. Decide today. Decide now. And watch how your life begins to change. It starts with you. It starts with a decision. Number 2, overcome procrastination and laziness. You know, the greatest thief in life isn't someone out there trying to take what's yours. It's procrastination. It sneaks in quiet and subtle, and before you know it, days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and you're left wondering where all the time went. Let me tell you, procrastination and laziness are not just bad habits, they're roadblocks to your success. But here's the good news: you can overcome them. You have the power to take control of your time and your life, starting right now. Let's talk about why we procrastinate. Most of the time, it's not because we're lazy or don't care. It's because the task at hand feels overwhelming, uncomfortable, or even boring. So what do? We avoid it. We distract ourselves with things that feel easier or more enjoyable, scrolling on our phones, watching TV, or telling ourselves, I'll get to it later, but deep down, we know later never comes. The first step to overcoming procrastination is understanding it. Ask yourself, why am I putting this off? Is it fear? Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of not being good enough? Or is it just a lack of clarity? Sometimes we procrastinate because we don't know where to start. Whatever the reason, identifying it is key. You can't fix what you don't understand. Once you know what's holding you back, it's time to tackle it head on. Start small. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to do everything at once. They look at the big picture and think, how am I ever going to do all of this? The answer is simple: one step at a time. Break it down. If you've got a project that feels massive, split it into smaller, manageable tasks. Focus on just one thing. When you accomplish that, move on to the next. You know, there's something powerful about momentum. The hardest part of any task is getting started. But once you do, you'll find it's easier to keep going. It's like pushing a car. At first, it feels impossible, but once it starts moving, it's not so hard to keep it rolling. That's why I always say, don't wait for the mood to strike you. Just start. Another key to overcoming procrastination is setting clear priorities. Not everything on your to-do list is equally important. Some things matter more than others. Figure out what those things are. What's going to make the biggest difference in your life or your work? Focus on those. And don't just think about them, write them down. There's something about putting your priorities on paper that makes them real. But let's talk about laziness for a moment. Laziness isn't about not wanting to work, it's about a lack of purpose. When you're clear about why you're doing something, it's easier to find the energy to do it. So take a moment to remind yourself why what you're doing matters. Maybe it's for your family. Maybe it's for your future. Maybe it's because you want to prove to yourself that you can. Whatever it is, keep that reason front and center. Here's a strategy that works wonders: the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to do it right away. Respond to that email, put your shoes away, or make that quick phone call. These little tasks might seem insignificant, but when you knock them out quickly, you free up mental space and build momentum for bigger tasks. Now, let's address a tough truth sometimes. Procrastination comes from a lack of discipline. And discipline, my friends, is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Commit to doing one thing each day that you don't feel like doing. Maybe it's going for a walk, making a phone call you've been avoiding, or spending 10 minutes on a task you've been dreading. The point isn't to be perfect. It's to build the habit of showing up, even when it's hard. And let me tell you, reward yourself for your effort. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are. Finished a chapter of that book you've been meaning to write? Treat yourself to something you enjoy. Cleaned out your inbox? Take a break and do something that makes you happy. Rewards reinforce good behavior, and they remind you that progress feels good. I know this all sounds easier said than done, but remember, you don't have to overcome procrastination and laziness overnight. It's a process, and it starts with one decision. Decide today that you're not going to let procrastination steal another moment of your life. Decide that you're going to take control of your time and your actions. Every time you choose to act, you're building your future. You're proving to yourself that you're capable, strong, and disciplined. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Start now. The life you want is on the other side of action. You just have to take the first step. Number 3, understanding the resistance to act. I know it'll make a difference. So why can't I just do it? Let me tell you something, you're not alone. That resistance you feel, that invisible force keeping you stuck, is something we all face. But here's the thing, you can overcome it. First, you have to understand it. Resistance to act isn't just laziness or lack of motivation. It's deeper than that. It's a combination of fear, doubt, and sometimes even the weight of our own expectations. We resist taking action because action means stepping out of our comfort zone. And let's be honest, comfort zones feel safe. They're familiar. They don't challenge us or make us uncomfortable. But here's the truth, nothing grows in the comfort zone. Sometimes resistance comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, or fear of not being good enough. It's that little voice in your head saying, what if I try and it doesn't work? What if people judge me? What if I fall flat on my face? And you know what? Those fears are normal. They're part of being human. But you can't let them control you, because if you do, you'll never take the steps needed to create the life you want. Other times, resistance comes from perfectionism. We tell ourselves, I'll start when everything is perfect. When I have more time, more energy, more knowledge, but perfection is a myth. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. Life isn't about getting everything right, it's about getting started. You can always improve as you go, but you can't improve if you don't begin. Then there's the resistance that comes from overwhelm. You look at the task in front of you, and it feels so big, so complicated that you don't even know where to start. So you do nothing. You freeze. But let me tell you something, you don't have to have it all figured out to take the first step. Break it down. Focus on just one small piece. And once you tackle that, move on to the next. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about doing something. Let's not forget self-doubt, that sneaky little thought that says, who am I to do this? What makes me think I can succeed? Self-doubt is a liar. It tries to convince you that you're not capable. But let me remind you, you are. You've overcome challenges before. You've faced difficulties and come out stronger. And you can do it again. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Resistance doesn't just show up when you're doing something hard or unfamiliar. Sometimes it shows up when you're about to do something great. Why? Because growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But that discomfort is a sign that you're on the right track. It means you're pushing your boundaries, stretching yourself, and moving closer to your potential. So how do you overcome resistance? Start by acknowledging it. Don't beat yourself up for feeling stuck. Instead, ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Is it fear, doubt, overwhelm? Once you identify the cause, you can address it. If it's fear, remind yourself that failure is a part of the process. No one gets it right every time. Every successful person has a story of mistakes, setbacks, and failures. But they didn't let those stop them. They learned, adapted, and kept moving forward. You can do the same if it's perfectionism. Remind yourself that done is better than perfect. Progress beats procrastination every time. Take messy action. Get started, even if it's not perfect. Because starting imperfectly is better than not starting at all. If it's overwhelmed, simplify. Focus on the next right thing. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You just have to take the first step. And once you do, the next step will become clearer. And if it's self-doubt, take a moment to reflect on your past victories. Think about a time when you doubted yourself but succeeded anyway. Let that memory fuel your confidence, because if you did it before, you can do it again. One of the most powerful ways to beat resistance is to take action, no matter how small. Action creates momentum. It shifts your focus from thinking to doing. And once you're in motion, you'll find it easier to keep going. Remember, you don't have to feel ready to start. You just have to start. Resistance isn't a sign that you're weak or incapable. It's a sign that you're human. But you have a choice. You can let resistance keep you stuck, or you can push through it and create the life you deserve. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Take action now. Because every step you take brings you closer to your goals, your dreams, and the person you're meant to become. Number 4, why motivation alone isn't enough. Have you ever been so fired up, so motivated to get something done, and then a few days later that motivation just disappeared? You wake up and the spark you felt is gone, and you're right back where you started. It's frustrating, isn't it? You think, what happened? I was so ready to take on the world, and now I don't even feel like getting out of bed. Here's the truth: motivation alone isn't enough. It never was, and it never will be. But don't worry, because today we're going to figure out why that happens, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Motivation is a great thing. It feels amazing when you're inspired and ready to act. Maybe you hear a speech, read a book, or watch a video that lights a fire in you. In that moment, you feel unstoppable. You think, this is it. I'm going to change my life. But here's the thing: motivation is like a match. It burns bright, but it doesn't last long. If you don't add fuel to the fire, it goes out. And that's where most people get stuck. They rely on motivation to carry them through. But motivation isn't designed for that. You see, motivation is emotional. It's based on how you feel in the moment. And let's be honest, feelings come and go. Some days you wake up energized and ready to tackle the day. Other days you'd rather hit snooze and stay under the covers. That's just human nature. But if you're waiting to feel motivated every day to take action, you're going to be waiting a long time. The problem is, people think motivation is the key to success. They think if I could just stay motivated, I'd achieve all my goals. But let me tell you something: success isn't about feeling motivated. It's about taking action, whether you feel like it or not. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. Successful people don't wait for motivation to show up. They build habits and systems that keep them moving forward, even on the days when they don't feel like it. Let's talk about habits for a minute. Habits are what you do consistently, day in and day out. They're not glamorous or exciting, but they're powerful. Because when you have good habits in place, you don't need to rely on motivation. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need to feel motivated to do it. You just do it because it's a habit. Now imagine if you approached your goals the same way. Imagine if eating healthy, exercising, or working on your dreams became automatic, something you did without thinking. That's the power of habits. Discipline plays a huge role here too. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up for yourself, even when it's hard or inconvenient. And let me tell you, discipline beats motivation every single time. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It just gets the job done. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. You have to work it to make it grow. Here's another thing to keep in mind: clarity is more important than motivation. When you're clear about what you want and why you want it, you don't need to rely on motivation to get started. Your purpose becomes your driving force. Think about a time when you were really focused on something important to you. Maybe it was a project, a goal, or even helping someone you care about. You didn't need to feel motivated because you were clear about what needed to be done and why it mattered. Clarity gives you direction, and direction keeps you moving, even when motivation fades. Let's not forget about momentum. Momentum is the result of consistent action. When you take small steps every day, those steps add up. And the more progress you make, the easier it becomes to keep going. It's like pushing a car. At first, it takes a lot of effort to get it moving. But once it starts rolling, it takes less effort to keep it going. That's momentum. And you can create it by taking action, even when you don't feel like it. Another reason motivation isn't enough is because life is full of challenges. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and days when nothing goes as planned. Motivation can't carry you through those tough times, but discipline and determination can. When you have a strong why, when you know deep down why you're doing what you're doing, you'll find the strength to keep going. Your why becomes your anchor, something you can hold on to when the going gets tough. I want to remind you that motivation isn't bad. It's a great starting point. It can spark the desire to change, to grow, to become better. But it's not the fuel that keeps you going. That fuel comes from habits, discipline, clarity, and purpose. It comes from deciding that you're going to show up for yourself, no matter what. So the next time you're feeling unmotivated, don't panic. Don't beat yourself up. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It just has to be something. Because every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. And once you have momentum, motivation isn't even necessary. Remember, motivation might get you started, but it's your habits, your discipline, and your determination that will get you across the finish line. So don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. Take action now. Because the life you want is waiting for you, and it's up to you to make it happen. Number 5, finding your reason to act. Why are you doing what you're doing? Really, why? Have you ever stopped to think about that? Because if you don't have a solid reason behind your actions, it's going to be hard to keep going when things get tough. And let me tell you, there will be tough times. But if your why is strong enough, it will pull you through anything. Today, we're going to talk about finding your reason to act, because that reason is the key to unlocking everything you want in life. You know, one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to figure out what drives you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What makes you push through the struggles and keep going? Your reason doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to matter to you. It has to hit you right in the heart. Because when you find that reason, your why, it changes everything. Suddenly, the obstacles don't seem so big. The excuses don't seem so tempting. You start to focus, and with focus comes power. Here's the thing, people often get stuck because they haven't taken the time to figure out their why. They go through the motions, working, paying bills, handling responsibilities, but they're not truly living. They're just surviving. And that's no way to live. You are meant for more than that. But to step into that more, you have to have a purpose. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone trying to quit smoking. They've tried everything, patches, gum, support groups, but nothing sticks. Then one day their child says, "I want you to be around when I grow up." Suddenly, everything changes. That parent finds their why. And it's no longer about breaking a bad habit, it's about being there for their child. That reason is powerful, and it gives them the strength to keep going, even when it's hard. Your reason to act works the same way. It's the fuel that keeps your fire burning, even on the days when you feel like giving up. And the truth is, your reason doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It just has to matter to you. Maybe it's about providing a better life for your family. Maybe it's about proving to yourself that you can do it. Or maybe it's about creating something that will outlive you. Whatever it is, hold on to it. So how do you find your why? Start by asking yourself some honest questions. What do you care about most? What lights you up inside? What breaks your heart? Sometimes your reason comes from a place of joy, and other times it comes from pain. But either way, it's deeply personal. And once you identify it, you'll feel a shift. You'll stop relying on external motivation because your why comes from within. Now let's get real for a second. Finding your reason doesn't mean life gets easier. The challenges will still be there. The setbacks will still come. But your why gives you something to hold on to when the storms hit. It gives you a reason to get back up when you fall. Without a strong why, it's too easy to give up. It's too easy to say, maybe I'll try again tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next week, next month, or never. Your why can change over time, and that's okay. The reason that drives you today might not be the same reason that drives you 5 years from now. Life evolves, and so do we. The key is to stay connected to what matters to you in the moment. Sometimes people tell me they don't know what their why is. They feel lost, like they're just drifting through life. If that's where you are right now, don't worry. Start small. Think about what makes you smile or what makes you angry. Think about the things you've always wanted to do but were too afraid to try. Your why doesn't have to hit you like a lightning bolt. Sometimes it's a quiet whisper that grows louder over time. And let me tell you, your why doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough to get you moving. Maybe your first reason is as simple as wanting to prove to yourself that you can finish what you start. That's a great place to begin, because once you start taking action, your reason will become clearer. I also want to remind you that your why isn't just about you. Sure, it starts with you, but it often touches the lives of others. When you're clear about your purpose, you inspire the people around you. You show them what's possible, and that ripple effect can change lives. So what is it that you want? What's the reason that's going to push you to take that first step? Maybe it's the dream you've had since you were a kid. Maybe it's a promise you made to yourself. Maybe it's the people you love who are counting on you. Whatever it is, write it down. Keep it somewhere you can see it every day. Let it remind you of why you started and why you can't afford to stop. Remember, your why is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when life gets hard. It's what gives you the courage to keep going, even when the odds are against you. And here's the best part. Once you find your reason, you'll discover strength within yourself that you didn't know you had. You'll realize that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. So don't wait for the perfect moment to figure it out. Start now. Take some time to reflect, to dig deep, and to connect with what truly matters to you. Because once you find your reason to act, nothing will be able to stop you. Your life is waiting, and it's time to take the first step. Let's go make it happen. Number 6, the cost of inaction. I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about the cost of not acting, of letting opportunities pass you by, of staying stuck where you are instead of moving forward. It's easy to ignore, isn't it? But I promise you, the cost of inaction is far greater than any price you'll pay for taking a chance on yourself. And today I want to help you see that clearly. You see, every decision we make or don't make has a cost. Every time you put something off, every time you let fear win, every time you choose comfort over growth, there's a price to pay. The thing is, most people don't notice it right away. The cost of inaction doesn't show up as a bill in the mail. It sneaks up on you over time. But make no mistake, it's there and it's real. Think about the goals you've set for yourself. Maybe you've dreamed of starting a business, getting in better shape, or building stronger relationships. Whatever it is, you've probably had moments where you told yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll wait until I'm ready. But let me tell you something, tomorrow has a way of turning into next week, next month, next year. And before you know it, years have passed and that dream is still just a dream. That's the cost of inaction, time you'll never get back. Let's get real for a moment. What happens when you don't act? You stay in the same place. And staying in the same place often means falling behind. Life is always moving forward. And if you're not moving with it, you're getting left behind. Think about the opportunities you've missed because you hesitated or because you were waiting for the perfect moment. How many times have you looked back and thought, if only I had started back then, I'd be so much further along today? The cost of inaction isn't just about what you lose in the future, it's about what you lose right now. When you don't act, you miss out on the chance to learn, to grow, to become better. You miss out on experiences that could change your life. You miss out on the satisfaction of knowing you gave it your all. even if things didn't go perfectly. And let's not forget the emotional cost. When you don't act, you carry the weight of regret. You live with the what ifs and the could have beens. That kind of regret is heavy. My friend, it eats away at you. And the only way to avoid it is to take action, to try, to give yourself the chance to succeed or even to fail, because at least then you know you gave it a shot. Now, I'm not saying action doesn't come with its own price. It does. It takes effort, energy, and sometimes a little bit of pain. But let me tell you, the price of action is nothing compared to the price of inaction. Because when you act, you give yourself a chance to grow, to improve, to create the life you want. When you don't act, you guarantee failure. You guarantee that nothing will change. Let me share something with you. A lot of people think they're avoiding pain by not acting. They think if I don't try, I can't fail. But here's the truth. You're not avoiding pain. You're just trading one kind of pain for another. The pain of discipline, the pain of effort, the pain of stepping outside your comfort zone that's temporary. But the pain of regret, that lasts a lifetime. I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. Where do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? Now ask yourself this. If you keep doing what you're doing, if you keep avoiding action, will you get there? The answer is probably no. And that's the cost of inaction. It's the gap between where you are and where you could be. So what do we do about it? How do we break free from the trap of inaction? It starts with a decision to value progress over perfection, a decision to take the first step, even if it's a small one, a decision to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it. Because the truth is, there's never a perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you decide to act. And let me tell you something else. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Inaction creates a cycle. The more you avoid something, the bigger it seems, the scarier it feels. But the moment you take action, that cycle breaks. You start to build momentum. You start to see progress. And progress is the greatest motivator there is. I know it's not always easy. Fear, doubt, and uncertainty can be paralyzing. But here's what I want you to remember. Action doesn't require confidence. It creates confidence. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to start. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep paying the price of inaction? Or are you going to step up and take control of your life? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make every single day. Remember, the cost of inaction isn't just about what you lose, it's about who you become. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back from the person you're meant to be. Take that first step, and then take another and another. Because the price of action, no matter how high it seems, is always worth it. Your future self is counting on you. Let's not let them down. Let's get to work. Number 7, the role of time management. What would happen if you treated your time like the most valuable asset in your life? Imagine for a moment that every second you spend comes from a limited account, one that you can't refill, can't save for later, and can't borrow more from. That's the reality of time. It's the one resource we all get in equal measure, and how we use it determines the kind of life we live. Time management isn't just a skill, it's the foundation of success. Most people don't think about time until they feel like they're running out of it. They'll say, I just don't have enough time, or I'll get to it later. But here's the truth. Time is never the problem. It's what we do with it that makes all the difference. Think about the most successful people you know. They don't have more hours in a day than you do. What they do have is clarity, focus, and a plan. They understand that how you manage your time is how you manage your life. Let me share something I've learned over the years. Time will control you if you don't take control of it. Have you ever felt like your day just got away from you? You start with good intentions, but before you know it, hours have passed, and you've got little to show for it. That's what happens when you don't plan your time with intention. When you leave your schedule up to chance, distractions, interruptions, and low-priority tasks take over. You have to be the one in charge. The first step in mastering your time is understanding what truly matters to you. You've got to have clear goals, a sense of purpose, and a vision for what you want to achieve. Without that, You're just going to fill your days with whatever comes your way. Clarity is your compass. It guides you to spend your time on the things that align with your goals and values. When you know what matters, it becomes a lot easier to say no to the things that don't. Now let's talk about planning. Planning is where the magic happens. It's not about creating a rigid schedule that doesn't allow for flexibility. It's about giving your day structure and direction. Every morning, or even the night before, take a few minutes to map out your priorities. What are the 3 most important things you need to accomplish? Not 10, not 20, just 3. If you can nail those, the rest of the day is a bonus. When you start your day with clarity, you don't waste time figuring out what to do next. You don't get distracted by emails, notifications, or whatever else tries to grab your attention. You stay focused on what matters. And let me tell you, focus is a superpower in today's world. Most people are so scattered, jumping from one thing to the next, that they never give their full energy to anything. But when you focus, you make progress. Real progress. Distractions are the enemy of time management. They're everywhere, and they're relentless. Social media, phone calls, endless notifications, they all want your attention. And if you're not careful, they'll steal your day. The solution? Be ruthless about protecting your time. Turn off notifications when you're working on something important. Set boundaries with the people around you. Create an environment where you can concentrate and get things done. Now, here's something that's just as important as planning your day: learning to manage your energy. Time management isn't just about the hours you have. It's about the energy you bring to those hours. If you're trying to tackle your most important tasks when you're exhausted or distracted, you're not going to do your best work. Pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. When do you feel most alert, focused, and productive? That's when you should be working on your highest priorities. Save the less demanding tasks for when your energy dips. One of the biggest mistakes people make with their time is trying to do too much. They say yes to everything, thinking it's all equally important. But the truth is, not all tasks are created equal. Some move you closer to your goals, while others are just busy work. You've got to learn to prioritize. Ask yourself, if I could only do one thing today, what would it be? That's where you should focus your time and energy. And let's not forget about rest and recovery. You can't be at your best if you're constantly running on empty. Taking breaks, getting enough sleep, and giving yourself time to recharge aren't luxuries, they're necessities. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. You're sharper, more focused, and more productive. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned about time management is this: it's not about being perfect. You're going to have days where things don't go as planned. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. It's about making the most of the time you have, day by day. So let me ask you again, what would happen if you treated your time like the most valuable asset in your life? Would you spend it differently? Would you stop wasting it on things that don't matter? Would you start investing it in your goals, your dreams, your growth? The choice is yours. Time is always ticking, whether we're paying attention to it or not. But when you take control of your time, you take control of your life. Start today. Be intentional, be focused, and make every moment count. Because at the end of the day, how you spend your time is how you build your future. Number 8, visualizing success. Imagine waking up every single day with a clear picture in your mind of exactly what you want to accomplish. Imagine seeing yourself already living your best life, achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. How would that change the way you approach your day? How would it affect the way you work, the way you think, and the decisions you make? You see, visualization isn't just a tool, it's the secret weapon that most successful people use to bring their dreams to life. It's about creating a vivid image in your mind of what you want to accomplish and truly believing that it's possible. The truth is, if you can't see yourself succeeding, how will you ever take the steps necessary to make it happen? It all starts in your mind. Think about it for a moment. Every success story, every achievement, and every breakthrough that has ever happened started with someone visualizing it. They had to picture themselves doing the impossible before it became a reality. You've got to do the same. Your mind is a powerful tool. It's like a GPS system guiding you to your destination, but it can only take you where you want to go if you know exactly where you're headed. Let's break it down. When you visualize success, you're setting a clear intention. You're telling yourself, this is where I'm going, and nothing will stop me. Visualization helps you focus on what matters most, keeping you from getting distracted by all the noise and the obstacles that come your way. Without a clear vision, you're wandering aimlessly, reacting to life instead of actively creating it. Now, I want you to think about your goal. What does it look like? What does it feel like to have accomplished it? Maybe it's running your own successful business, writing that book you've always dreamed about, or reaching a financial milestone you've set for yourself. Close your eyes for a moment and really see it. Don't just picture the end result, see the process. See yourself taking the steps every single day. See the obstacles you'll overcome, the challenges you'll face, and the growth you'll experience along the way. Visualization isn't about wishing for success. It's about preparing your mind to achieve it. You're rehearsing for the life you want. You're training your brain to focus on solutions, not problems. When you visualize, you're planting seeds of possibility. Your subconscious mind begins to work behind the scenes, helping you align your thoughts and actions with your desired outcome. That's how powerful it is. Visualization works best when it's paired with action. It's not enough to just sit there and think about your dreams. You have to get up and work toward them every single day. But the great thing is that when you have a clear vision of what you want, your actions become more focused and intentional. Every step you take feels like it's leading you closer to the picture you've created in your mind. One of the best things about visualization is that it keeps you motivated, even when things get tough. Let's face it, no success comes without its challenges. You're going to face setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles along the way. But when you've already visualized your success, you've mentally prepared yourself for these moments. You've seen yourself push through the tough times. You've seen yourself staying resilient and determined, even when the going gets rough. And that mental preparation is what will carry you through when things aren't going the way you planned. Visualization also helps you tap into the power of belief. You've got to believe in your ability to achieve your goals. If you don't believe it, nobody else will either. When you visualize, you're building that belief muscle. The more you see yourself succeeding, the stronger your belief becomes. And when your belief is strong enough, it becomes unstoppable. When you visualize, don't just think about the end result. Imagine all the little moments that lead up to it. Picture yourself taking action every single day, doing the hard work that will get you there. Visualizing these small victories along the way will keep you on track. You'll see the progress you're making, and that will keep you motivated, even when the big result seems far away. What's even more powerful is when you start to visualize the feelings that come with success. How will you feel when you've achieved your goal? Picture that moment of pride, satisfaction, and joy. Feel it deep inside. The more you connect with these emotions, the more real your success will feel. And the more real it feels, the more driven you'll be to make it happen. Another thing you need to do is to make your visualization as specific as possible. Don't just imagine success in vague terms. Get into the details. If your goal is to write a book, picture the moment when you finish that first draft. Imagine the excitement of completing each chapter, the sense of accomplishment when you've put your ideas into words. See yourself sitting at your desk, writing every day and taking steps toward your dream. The more specific you can get, the more your subconscious will work toward making it a reality. Visualize every day. Do it in the morning before you start your day and in the evening before you go to sleep. These are the times when your mind is most receptive to positive thoughts. Visualizing regularly reinforces your goals and keeps you focused. The more you visualize, the more ingrained your vision becomes. It starts to feel like it's already happening. And that's when you know you're on the right track. But it's not just about personal goals. Visualization can also be powerful when it comes to relationships, health, and overall well-being. If you want to build stronger relationships, visualize yourself connecting with others, having meaningful conversations, and supporting those around you. If you want to improve your health, picture yourself exercising, eating nutritious foods, and feeling energized every day. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and it can help you create a life that's in alignment with your deepest desires. Visualization is about becoming the person you need to be in order to achieve what you want. It's about adopting a mindset that says, I can do this, and when you start seeing yourself as the person who has already achieved success, it changes the way you show up in the world. You'll make decisions differently, you'll act with more confidence, and you'll attract the right opportunities into your life. Your success begins with your vision. If you can see it, you can achieve it. It's time to start visualizing the life you want to live. Picture it, feel it, and believe it. And then take the steps to make it happen. Because your future is waiting for you. And it all starts with the image you hold in your mind. Number 9. The power of a positive mindset. Have you ever noticed how the world can seem a little different depending on the way you look at it? Some days everything feels like it's falling apart, and other days the same world can feel full of opportunities. What makes the difference? It's your mindset. The way you choose to see things, your attitude toward the world, and the situations you face will determine not just your happiness, but your success. A positive mindset isn't just about thinking happy thoughts or ignoring the challenges in your life. It's much deeper than that. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control and finding the good in every situation, even when it seems hard. Because here's the truth, life will never be perfect. It will never unfold the way you want it every single time. But how you respond to what happens, that's where your power lies. Now, I know it sounds simple, but the most successful people in the world will tell you that the power of a positive mindset is a game changer. It doesn't mean you'll never experience setbacks, but it does mean you'll approach those setbacks with the belief that you can overcome them. You'll understand that problems are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. You'll see challenges as part of the journey, not something that derails your progress. A positive mindset starts with how you talk to yourself. That internal dialogue is so much more important than most people realize. You're always talking to yourself, whether you're aware of it or not. And that self-talk has a massive influence on how you view the world and how you approach your goals. Think about it. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, that the world is against you, or that success is for other people but not for you, how can you possibly move forward? That kind of thinking will keep you stuck in place, and worse, it'll steal your belief in what's possible for your life. But on the other hand, when you choose to speak positively to yourself, when you remind yourself that you're capable, worthy, and deserving of success, everything starts to shift. When you tell yourself that failure is just part of the learning process, you're no longer afraid to take risks. When you focus on what's going right, instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, you open yourself up to the opportunities that are already around you. Your mindset shapes your actions. When you have a positive mindset, you don't sit around waiting for things to happen. You go out and make things happen. You act with confidence, knowing that every step you take is a step closer to your goal, even if it's just a small step. You don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Instead, you embrace those feelings as part of the process and push through them. Because you know deep down that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. A positive mindset also means being resilient. Life's not always going to be smooth sailing, and you're going to face difficulties. But how you handle those challenges will define you. A positive mindset doesn't mean you ignore the tough times. It means that you look at them with the understanding that you can learn from them and grow stronger. It's about choosing to bounce back instead of giving up. Every successful person has faced adversity, but what sets them apart is that they didn't let it define them. They chose to keep going. Even when things were hard, they understood that the road to success is never a straight line. It's filled with bumps, twists, and turns. One of the most powerful things about a positive mindset is how it helps you build momentum. You've probably heard that success builds on success, right? Well, it's true. When you focus on the positive, on the things that are going right, you build up this mental and emotional energy that propels you forward. You start to see results, and those results inspire you to keep going. The more you focus on the good, the more good you start to see. It's like you're training your mind to notice the opportunities, the blessings, and the progress, even in the midst of difficulty. But it doesn't stop there. A positive mindset also impacts the people around you. You've heard the saying, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? Well, think about it this way. If you surround yourself with positive, driven, and optimistic people, their energy will start to rub off on you. You'll become more motivated, more focused, and more confident in your own abilities. And if you're the positive one in the group, you have the power to lift others up. Your positive mindset can be contagious. The way you show up in the world can inspire those around you to do the same. Now, let me be clear. A positive mindset isn't about being unrealistic or ignoring the challenges of life. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control and finding the good, even in the toughest situations. It's about developing the strength to face adversity with grace and confidence, knowing that you have the power to handle whatever comes your way. It's about choosing to see every setback as a setup for a comeback. It's about understanding that every challenge, no matter how difficult, holds a lesson that can help you grow. Your positive mindset will attract opportunities. People will want to be around you, they'll want to work with you, and they'll want to help you succeed because your energy will be magnetic. You'll become the kind of person that others look to for guidance and inspiration. People are drawn to positive energy, and they want to be around people who lift them up, not drag them down. This is why it's so important to work on cultivating a positive mindset every single day. It doesn't happen overnight, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Start by paying attention to your self-talk. Are you being kind to yourself? Or are you being your own worst critic? Are you focusing on what you can do, or are you focusing on what you can't do? Shift your thinking. Start with gratitude. Every day, find something to be grateful for. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have for shifting your mindset. When you focus on what you're thankful for, your mind can't help but start seeing the good in your life. Remember, the mind is a powerful tool, and what you feed it will determine what it believes. So feed it positivity. Feed it thoughts that encourage, uplift, and motivate. Surround yourself with positive people. Read positive books. Watch positive videos. And most importantly, believe that you can achieve your goals. When you believe in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. So, if you want to live a life of success, joy, and fulfillment, start by changing your mindset. It's the foundation for everything you want to accomplish. If you want to overcome obstacles, achieve your dreams, and build a life that you're proud of, it all starts with your mindset. Choose positivity, choose optimism, and watch how it transforms your life. The power of a positive mindset is real, and it's waiting for you to tap into it. Number 10, learning from past successes. Sometimes the best way to move forward isn't by looking ahead, but by looking back. It's not about dwelling on the past, but rather learning from it. Think about all the things you've already accomplished. I'm not talking about the things that were handed to you or the lucky breaks. I'm talking about the real wins, the moments when you pushed yourself, when you took action, when you stepped out of your comfort zone and made something happen. These successes, big or small, are some of the most valuable lessons you'll ever have. We often get so focused on what's next that we forget to take a step back and look at what we've already achieved. We fail to acknowledge how far we've come. And here's the thing, the road to success isn't just about moving forward. It's about taking the time to recognize what's working, what you've done right, and using that as fuel to push you even further. This is one of the most powerful things you can do to create a momentum that'll carry you to your next level. You have to be willing to look at your past successes in a meaningful way. It's not about celebrating just for the sake of celebrating. It's about truly understanding what made those moments work. Why did you succeed? What decisions did you make that led you there? Who did you have to become in order to get the results you wanted? These are the kinds of questions that will reveal patterns and strategies you can repeat. Think about the time when you overcame a challenge or hit a goal you thought was impossible. What did you learn in that process? Maybe it was learning to stay disciplined. Or maybe you learned that it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Maybe you learned how to trust yourself in your decisions. Whatever it was, that success wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just luck. It was a direct result of something you did, a mindset shift, a habit you formed, or a strategy you implemented. This is where the power lies in taking the lessons from those past successes and applying them to your future. Don't just pat yourself on the back and move on. Take the time to dissect the moments that worked. Look at the decisions, actions, and behaviors that led to those successes. Maybe you got organized and stuck to a plan. Maybe you stayed persistent when others gave up, or maybe you kept a positive mindset that helped you push through. These are the pieces of the puzzle that will guide you as you move forward. But we often overlook this. Instead of learning from our wins, we spend all our energy focusing on the next big goal or the next challenge. And while it's great to be ambitious, it's equally important to take a moment to reflect on what you've already achieved. By doing this, you build confidence. You remind yourself that you've already been through tough situations, that you've faced challenges before, and that you've come out the other side stronger. This kind of reflection helps you remember that you have the skills and mindset needed to succeed again. It's also important to understand that learning from your past successes isn't just about replicating the same formula every time. It's about taking what worked and adapting it to your new circumstances. Because as you grow, as you evolve, the challenges you face will become more complex and the opportunities will change. The key to success is not just doing the same thing over and over again, but being able to take the lessons from your past and use them in new and creative ways. This is how you continue to grow and evolve. You're not just repeating the past, you're using it as a foundation to build something even greater. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is dismissing their past successes because they're looking for something bigger, something more impressive. But every success counts. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. And when you look back at those successes, no matter how big or small they were, you'll start to see the thread that connects them all. You'll realize that the skills you developed, the habits you built, and the mindset you adopted during those moments are all things that can propel you to even greater success in the future. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your most recent success. Maybe it's something as simple as staying consistent with a new habit. Or perhaps it's something bigger like completing a big project or hitting a financial milestone. Whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself, what did I do differently this time? What actions did I take that led to this result? Did I keep a positive mindset? Did I take consistent action even when things were tough? Did I keep learning and growing throughout the process? Reflect on that success and allow yourself to be proud of what you accomplished, but more importantly, understand why it worked. When you take the time to reflect on your past successes, you start to build a library of strategies that you can draw from at any time. These are tools you can use when things get tough, when you feel like giving up, when you're not sure how to move forward. You can pull from your own history of success and remember, I've been here before. I've faced challenges and I've overcome them. I can do it again. But it's not just about looking back, it's about using those lessons to stay motivated and keep moving forward. When things get hard, when obstacles seem insurmountable, your past successes serve as proof that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you. They remind you that you are capable of making progress, of getting things done, and of achieving the success you desire. You've already proven to yourself that you can do it. And here's another thing, learning from your past successes also gives you a sense of perspective. It reminds you that you've been through difficult times before and made it through. It puts things into perspective and helps you understand that even though you may be facing a challenge today, it's not the end of the world. You've been through tough times and come out the other side, and this moment is no different. So moving forward, take the time to reflect on your past. Learn from the things that worked, but also take note of what didn't work. The failures, too, hold valuable lessons. But today, let's focus on the wins, the moments that prove you can do it, the moments that show you that you are capable of achieving your goals. Remember, success is not an accident. It's the result of decisions, actions, and mindset. By reflecting on your past successes, you're learning how to repeat those positive patterns and continue to move toward your goals with confidence. Don't overlook your achievements. Celebrate them, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones toward even greater success. Because if you've done it once, you can do it again. You have everything you need to keep growing, and your past successes are the key to unlocking your future potential. Nothing is going to change until you do. Waiting for the perfect time, for the right mood, or for some magical burst of motivation will only leave you stuck. The key to achieving anything you want in life is simple: take action. Start now, even if it's a small step. Action breeds momentum, and that momentum will drive you forward, step by step, towards your goals. Remember, progress isn't about waiting until you feel ready. It's about making the decision to move, to act, and to keep going no matter what. The power is in your hands. You just need to take that first step. So force yourself to take action today. Don't let another day slip by while you wait for something to change. You are capable, you are ready, and your time is now. Start moving, and success will follow. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video inspired you to take that next step. Don't wait for the perfect moment, create it. Now go out there and make it happen.